Okay, so next video, we're going to focus on audio. So I'm almost done with this video. I think it's not perfect, it's not terrible, but it is something. If I had an example, I think this has taken me around half an hour. I've created 5 different clips in this example. Obviously, I'm a little bit more experienced, but it doesn't take long to get to this level when you have a simple format. But what I want to do is give it a little bit more emotion. So I'm going to look for some music to apply to it. And the way that I can do that is I've got a track here that I imported here, and I'll just show you how I did that again. So I'm going to delete that one and go import, and then look for my music MP3 file. And from here, all I have to do is press plus to add to track here. Now, the track's only 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, I've just done something a little silly here, so I'm just going to delete out. I've double clicked on my media, which brought it in. So I'm going to leave my mistakes in here because I think it's important that you see how to fix them. If you do the same thing, don't worry too much. So got my music. Let's just try it again without making a mistake. So I've got my edited version. I'm going to press plus and it brings in the music. Now that music's not really long enough for the whole video. So if you're doing a whole video here, that's not going to quite work. So I'm going to do 2 examples here. I'm going to do one example with a whole track first. So I'm going to delete that. And ways that you can do this is, the great thing about CapCut is there's actually audio tracks that are available to be used for business use. And most of them are pretty simple music. So I can listen to the song by pressing on it. Now it might be quite loud on your side, so I'm just going to reduce the sound. You can see how I can press on it to have a listen first. So maybe I really like some of this music. There's one in here that I have used quite a lot. Let's have a look for it. I think it does change quite often. All right, let's get a bit of funk in there. So we're going to press plus, and it's not going to be that long again, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come through and cut my sound. So just for your own example. So what I'm going to do is cut my sound. So just like the video, how I can click on videos and cut those, I'm going to click on my music, move it to where I want, Control B or split, and there you got a piece of music deleted. Now, one of the major issues I have here straight away is I'm going to have, the music's going to be too loud. So essentially you won't be able to hear what I'm talking about. And here's an example. My origin story starts in the middle. It's probably the most common issue you're going to run into with any kind of audio music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on my song. I'm going to come up to volume. And you got a couple options here. You can use noise reduction for the sound, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce it myself down to minus 30 decibels, so minus 30.0, and then enter, and you'll see it come down. Then I'm going to listen again. My origin story starts in the middle of COVID. So I was working in finance and we were all sent home, and I started. And that is a good start. So you can hear that there's a little bit of music in the background. It adds a new element to it. And I highly recommend this when you're doing any kind of spoken interview, I guess. It just adds something fresh for someone to listen to. It makes it more enjoyable. Now with my screen recording, it might be a little too loud on your side. So just keep that in mind that it's pulling audio through in different ways, but play around with this. Listen to yourself speak. And remember that you can increase your own audio. So you can come through and increase and decrease your own audio of you speaking, but you can also increase and decrease the music in the background. So I want you to do that before you move to the next stage. So pause the video here if you haven't. But what I'm going to do is keep moving forward. And all I want to do is control and copy my music into my other answers. And then what I can do is drag and pull it to the end. And that way the decibels are the same for every single question. And I'm not having to readjust the song every single time. So quick tip, and something that I've learned over my time to just have an order of how I go about this to be most efficient. Music's always at the end. And that's it. So if I'm to listen to this whole video, I can come to a different question.
The first principle that defines our company is team first.
I'm pretty happy with that. And same thing here.
So what makes us different as a brand would be our long-term view on a person. So
fantastic. So I believe that this project is done now. What I would want to do is I want to export this video. So I'm going to show you in the next video how to do that. I don't want to cut anything yet. I want to export this video so I have a whole edited version. And essentially my strategy is to come back out and just clip out each answer at a time rather than break down this draft file. So I'll show you in the next video.